Greeting to my lecturer, Sir Azratilai, and also my fellow classmate. Today, our group will be presenting about the company of Carlsberg Brewery Berhad financial statement analysis. So, let us proceed. Let us meet our group member, which consists of WELLTER GIGG LAMAN, NURUL NUHA NATASHA, and me myself, Muhammad HISYAM.
Good morning, everyone. Today, our group will be presenting the financial statement analysis of Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad from the period of 2021 to 2025. Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad is one of Malaysia's leading brewery companies and is part of the global Carlsberg Group. The company is involved in production, marketing, and distribution of well-known beverage brands such as Carlsberg Danish Pilsner, Somersby, Connors, Asahi Superdry, and the 1664 Blanc. Throughout this presentation, we will analyze the company's financial performance by using financial statements and ratio analysis to evaluate its liquidity, leverage, activity, and profitability, as well as discussing the key factors contributing to its performance and the challenges faced by the company.
Hello, my name is Muhammad HISYAM. So I will be presenting about our trend analysis of the company. First of all is the revenue. Based on the graph beside me, the Carlsberg Brewery Berhad shows an irregular pattern, but generally an increasing trend over the 5-year period. The lowest value was recorded in 2021 with a value of 1,772,821,000 ringgit. This was mainly due to impact of COVID-19, including the prolonged lockdown and the restaurant closure, which affect the company business operation. On the other hand, the highest value was achieved in 2022 with 2,412,465,000 ringgit Malaysia. This increase was mainly driven by the strong recovery after the pandemic, the reopening of the economy, and the improvement in business activity. Overall, the graph shows that the Carlsberg Brewery Berhad managed to recover and improve its performance after the challenge faced during the pandemic. As for the second one is the profit or loss before tax. Based on the graph, Carlsberg Brewery Berhad shows an inconsistent pattern, but it also follows an upward trend over the 5-year period. The lowest value was recorded in 2021 with a value of 259,570,000 ringgit Malaysia. This was mainly due to the negative impact of the COVID-19 restriction on the food and beverage industry as well as the entertainment outlet. Meanwhile, the highest value was achieved in 2025 with a 483,444,000 ringgit Malaysia. This indicates that the company performance improved over the years as business activity recover and the market condition also becoming more stable. Overall, the trend shows positive growth in the company's performance despite some fluctuation. So next is the gross profit of the company. Based on the graph, the Carlsberg Brewery Berhad experienced consistent on its gross profit performance over the past 5-year period. The lowest gross profit was recorded in 2021 at 523,992,000 ringgit Malaysia. This decline was mainly caused by the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and also the restriction of the affecting entertainment outlet and also the business activity. On the other contrast, the highest gross profit was achieved in 2024, reaching up to 817,762,000 ringgit Malaysia. This improvement was supported by the company's effective premium strategy, better pricing decision, and the efficient commercial management. Overall, the graph indicates that the Carlsberg company managed to strengthen its gross profit performance over the past 5 years after facing challenge during the pandemic period. So, let's move on to the next point, which is the total expense of the company. Based on the graph, the Carlsberg Brewery Berhad total expense shows an inconsistent pattern throughout the 5-year period, although the expense relatively high compared to the initial year. The total expense increased from 1,248 million ringgit in 2021 to the highest level of 1,615 million ringgit in 2022. This increase was mainly due to the full recovery of the business operation and also the higher production activities after the pandemic. After that, the expense suddenly decreased slightly to 1,483 million ringgit in 2023, before increasing again in 2024 as well as 2025. Overall, the change in expense were influenced by the factors such as supply chain disruption, rising raw material costs, and also the increased spending on marketing activities. As for the last trend analysis, we proceed to the net profit of the company. Based on the graph, Carlsberg Brewery Berhad net profit shows a consistent increasing trend from 2021 to 2025. The company recorded a net profit of 204 million ringgit in 2021, which increased slightly significantly to 324 million ringgit in 2022 due to the recovery of business activity after the pandemic as well, and also the reopening of the entertainment channels. The net profit continued to grow in 2023 and 2024, reaching to 334 million and 340 million ringgit respectively. The highest net profit was achieved in 2025 at 377 million ringgit Malaysia. Overall, the improvement in net profit was supported by the stronger consumer demand, effective cost management, as well as the operational efficiency and the successful business strategies.
Next, I will present the liquidity and leverage ratios of Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad from 2021 to 2025. Starting with liquidity ratios, the current ratio improved from 0.02 in 2021 to 0.75 in 2025. Although this shows a significant improvement in the company's ability to meet its short-term obligations, the ratio remained below the ideal benchmark of 1.0, indicating that the current liabilities were still higher than the current assets. Similarly, the asset test ratio increased from 0.01 in 2021 to 0.56 in 2025. This suggests that the company's most liquid assets became stronger over time. However, since the ratio also remained below 1.0, Carlsberg may still face some challenges in paying short-term liabilities without relying on inventory. Lastly, net working capital remained negative throughout the 5-year period. It worsened in 2022 but still improved significantly afterwards, reaching negative 172.5 million in 2025. This indicates that although the company's liquidity position improved, it still needs to be strengthened its short-term financial management. Moving on to the leverage ratios, the debt ratio increased to 1.25 in 2022 before declining steadily to 0.50 in 2025. This downward trend indicates that the company reduced its reliance on debt financing and strengthened its financial position over time. The debt-to-equity ratio also followed a similar pattern. It peaked in 5.87 in 2022 before falling to 2.22 in 2025. This suggests that Carlsberg gradually relied less on borrowed funds and improved its capital structure by strengthening shareholders' equity. Overall, the liquidity ratio shows improving but still weak short-term liquidity, while the leverage ratios indicate that the company has successfully reduced its financial risk and maintained a healthier capital structure over the 5-year period. Starting with the activity ratios, the inventory turnover ratio remained negative throughout the 5-year period. This suggests that the inventory or cost of sales figures used in the calculation may have affected the results, so the ratio should be interpreted with caution. The total asset turnover ratio increased from 1.75 times in 2021 to 2.14 times in 2022 and remain around 2.0 times until 2025. This indicates that the company efficiently utilized its asset to generate revenue throughout the period. Similarly, the fixed asset turnover ratio improved from 5.19 times in 2021 to 7.07 times in 2022 and remained above 6.6 times in the following years. This shows that Carlsberg consistently generated strong sales from its investment in fixed asset, reflecting efficient asset utilization. Moving on to the profitability ratios, the gross profit margins increased steadily from 29.56% in 2021 to 35.78% in 2025. This indicates that the company became more effective in controlling production costs and retaining a larger portion of its revenue as gross profit. The operating profit margin is also improved from 14.78% to 21.50%, while the operating ratio declined from 0.86 to 0.80. A lower operating ratio indicates better cost management. In addition, the net profit margin increased from 11.53% in 2021 to 16.69% in 2025, showing that the company generated higher net profit from each ringgit of sales. Lastly, the ROE peaked at 2.11 in 2022 before gradually declining, while return on assets also fluctuated during the period. Despite these fluctuations, both ratios remain positive, indicating that the company continued to generate satisfactory returns for both its shareholders and its asset. Overall, the activity ratio demonstrates efficient utilization of assets.
Hi everyone, my name is WELLTER GIGG and I will be presenting the horizontal analysis and vertical analysis of Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad. First, let's look at the horizontal analysis of the statement of financial position. In the analysis, the year 2021 is used as a base year, which is set at 100%. The results show that Carlsberg experienced positive financial growth over the 5-year period. The total non-current asset increased from 100% to 172%, mainly because of higher investments in property, plant, and equipment, as well as intangible assets. Meanwhile, the total current assets increased significantly from 100% to 401%, indicating stronger short-term financial resources. Overall, total assets increased to 160%, while total equity rose to 151%. Although total liabilities also increased due to business expansion, the company remained financially sound throughout the period. Next is the horizontal analysis of the statement of profit and loss. The analysis shows that Carlsberg maintained steady growth in both revenue and profitability. The revenue increased 127% compared to the base year, reflecting strong consumer demand for its products. Although operating expenses increased because of higher operating activities and expansion, the company still managed to improve its profitability. The operating profit increased to 182%, profit before tax increased to 186%, and profit after tax reached 185%. These results indicate that Carlsberg successfully maintained strong financial performance despite increasing operating costs. Now, let's move on to the vertical analysis of the statement of financial position. In the analysis, every item is expressed as a percentage of total assets. The result shows that non-current assets remain the largest component of total assets throughout the 5-year period. Current assets also increased from 2% to 35%, showing improvement in the company's short-term asset position. At the same time, total equity remained stable between 25 and 31%, while total liabilities gradually decreased from 73% to 69%. Overall, the company maintained a balanced financial structure and demonstrated good financial stability. Next is the vertical analysis of the statement of profit and loss. Here, revenue is used as a base value of 100%. The analysis shows that operating expenses remain relatively stable at around 64 to 67% of revenue, indicating effective cost management. The operating profit improved from 14% in 2021 to 20% in 2025. The profit before tax also increased from 15% to 21%, while profit after tax improved from 12% to 17%. Overall, this result show that Carlsberg was able to improve its profitability while maintaining good control over its operating costs.
Next, I will present the factors that contributed to Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad's financial performance from 2021 to 2025. First, the increase in revenue was one of the key contributing factors. Revenue increased from 1.77 billion in 2021 to 2.41 billion in 2022 and remained above 2.25 billion throughout the period. This reflects strong consumer demand, brand loyalty, and the company's ability to maintain a stable market position. Second, the improvement in profitability also strengthened the company's financial performance. Gross profit increased from RM524 million to 809 million, while net profit rose from 204 million to 377 million. These improvements were mainly driven by better cost control, operational efficiency, and effective pricing strategies. Third, effective asset management contributed to the company's growth. Total assets expanded significantly from 561 million in 2021 to 1.46 billion in 2025. This shows that the company continued investing in long-term assets to support business expansion while maintaining efficient operations. Lastly, prudent liability management helped strengthen the company's financial position. Although total liabilities increased overall, they declined after peaking in 2022, while shareholders' funds continued to grow. This indicates that Carlsberg improved its capital structure and maintained financial stability while supporting future growth.
Now, let's discuss the implications on the financial market and economic development. Carlsberg's strong financial performance has increased investors' confidence, which can positively influence its share price in Bursa Malaysia. The company's continuous investments in assets and production facilities also supports business expansion, creates employment opportunities, and benefits related industries such as manufacturing, logistics, and distribution. In addition, higher profitability allows the company to contribute more corporate income, tax, and excise duties, which supports government spending on infrastructures, healthcare, and education. Overall, Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad contributes to shareholders' wealth, economic development, government revenue, and the growth of Malaysia's capital market. In conclusion, Carlsberg Brewery Malaysia Berhad demonstrated strong financial performance throughout the period from 2021 to 2025. The company achieved consistent growth in revenue, profitability, and total assets while maintaining effective cost management, and a balanced financial structure. Although liquidity remains an area for improvement, Carlsberg has shown steady progress in strengthening its financial positions. Overall, the company remains financially stable, competitive, and continues to contribute positively to shareholders, investors, and Malaysia's economic development.
So, that's all from our group presenting Carlsberg Brewery Berhad Financial Statement Analysis. Thank you very much for listening to our group presentation.